What is going on? It's Jack here again, and today we're going to talk about products that you should stay away from when selling on Amazon, or products that you're going to at least have a lot of trouble selling when it comes to selling on Amazon. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to show you guys the different types or the different sort of categories of products that you should stay away from, and why you should stay away from them, and go for something else. So we're going to get started. As you can see here, you've got a lovely, lovely red fidget spinner here. And this brings me to the first category of products not to sell, and the first one is fads and trends. So basically, if you guys didn't know, if you guys don't know what this is, it's basically called a fidget spinner. And I think it was last year, it was sort of early to mid last year, maybe even a bit earlier. These things just absolutely blew up, and they went crazy, and they got to the point where they were selling at about, I think the story behind it was people were making handmade ones, and they were basically people driving to other people's places, like cross states in America, just to go and get these things, and they were selling for like $50 to $80 a piece. And when they first started on Amazon, they were selling anywhere from about $25 to sort of $50 US each on Amazon. And basically, just after that first lot of people started selling these things, and the word got out about what they are, kids started using them at school, and eventually they just blew up. And they were selling like crazy and at a high price. And guys who got on the train late, so Amazon guys that got on the train late, they were like, cool, we're going to invest a whole lot of money into this. Let's get like thousands of units in. And they would have got these units in early to mid last year in 2017, and by that time the wave had sort of gone up, the big wave had sort of gone up, and then it started to slowly go down. And by that time, all these people had all these units sitting in the Amazon warehouse ready to sell. And basically, instead of selling, all they did was they decreased in value, and less people started talking about it, and less people started buying them, or less people kept buying them. So basically, as it is now, a lot of these sellers with fidget spinners who invested all that money into it, they still have units sitting there, and they've basically lost a lot of money. So you just have to be careful with things like fads like toys, and just things that are hyped up a lot. You don't really want to get on the hype train, because a lot of the time, it is just a fad, or just a, like a trend. So you just have to be careful. That's the one reason why I wouldn't do it. What you can do is, if you're smart about it, you can ride these trends early, and you can make your money while it's still early in the process. You can make your money and be done with it, but I would stay away from it altogether, because, unless you're right in on what's happening all the time, it can be very hard to sort of ride these trends and get money out of the sales, because before you know it, there's already tons and tons of people on them already. So I'd stay away from fads and trends. The next one that I'd stay away from are digestives slash food. So I think food like groceries, I don't know if normal sellers can get ungated in it. I think it takes a long time for normal sellers to get ungated in it. I think it's usually people who are actually licensed to sell food actually get ungated. But with digestives, what I would stay away from are things like health powders, or tablets, or anything that dissolves in the mouth, or anything like that, because it creates such a big health hazard. Well, not more so like a health hazard. It has the potential to be a health hazard. If something does happen along those lines, you are in for a big lawsuit, and you have to make sure you have like a lot of insurance there, and just all your legal entities and things like that in place for things like that. But it's always a hazard, and especially when you're getting in the product from China. When it crosses over, let's just say you're selling in America, when it crosses over to the US borders, people are going to look at this and go, hey, these are tablets, people digest these, and they're most likely going to be held up at customs, and then you're going to have to get in contact with customs, or you're going to have to get someone else to get in contact with customs, then you're going to have to get it cleared, and then into Amazon. But it is a longer process than what I just said, but you just have to be careful, because I know a lot of people who have gone for products like this or similar, or what things that people put in their mouths, and they have a lot of trouble getting it just through customs across the border. And but before you know it, it's even been like even a month before they've even got into the Amazon warehouse, and by then you could have even missed the train to get a lot of sales on this product. So that's the reason I'd stay away from digestives and food. The next one is probably pretty obvious, this one, but it's dangerous and hazardous items. So obviously things like your knives and guns, and sharps, and even like sharp instrumental tools. So like I know some people last year I think they were making good money on things like I think they were medical equipment and things like that. But eventually, if you're not able to sell, like if you haven't gotten ungated in that category or you haven't got the right permit to sell it, Amazon can take your listing down without any notice. So you have to be careful of that. I'd stay away from it altogether because it's the same instance as the food and the digestives. Basically, let's say if you were selling a knife like this, if someone was to buy your product, if someone was to hurt themselves with the product, basically, guess what? They're not going to put a lawsuit onto Amazon because it doesn't work that way. Basically, the lawsuit goes to the seller of the product, so the lawsuit's on you. And especially if you're selling a product like this and you don't have sort of any legal entities in place, you're going to have a very, very hard time of getting out of that one. So you just have to be careful. I stay away from products like this altogether just to sort of stay away from that possibility of things like that happening. You don't want your customers accidentally hurting themselves. You have no idea what most of your customers are doing with your products, unless you're selling something certain and they can only be used for certain things, obviously. But I would just stay away from these altogether. It's just going to be better for you guys in the long run for sure. So stay away from dangerous and hazardous products. That's my opinion, my personal opinion anyway. Now, the next one is stay away from restricted categories. Now, a lot of these categories, so they're called gated categories. A lot of these categories you can get ungated for, which means you can basically go into Amazon. So let's just say, as it stands now, I'll read through these in a second. These are the restricted categories. Now, most of these you can actually go into your Amazon seller account. You can contact Amazon themselves, and it doesn't take much for them to get your account unrestricted to sell in these categories. But I'll read through them now. And as it is, if you haven't gotten ungated or unrestricted, in any of these categories, stay away from them because Amazon will most likely take your listing down. So these are automotive and power sports, clothing, accessories, shoes and luggage, collectible books, collectible coins, entertainment collectibles, fine art, fine jewelry, gift cards, groceries and gourmet foods. I think I'd stay away from that altogether anyway. Kindle accessories, major appliances, sexual wellness, sports collectibles, textbooks, rentals, toys, games, holiday guidelines. So video, DVD and Blu-ray, that's another one I'd stay away from completely. Watches and wine, I probably would stay away from wine as well. So most of these here, so good ones that I'd probably, let's just say if you wanted to get into, you could get ungated for and sell in. Maybe automotive and power sports I'd look into. Maybe entertainment collectibles. Probably do Kindle accessories, that'd definitely be one. Believe it or not, this sexual wellness one, so like your sex toys and everything like that, they actually sell, the numbers on that is sell really well. But the big thing about this, what I've learned is, because I haven't got any of these products in myself, but big thing about that is that a lot of people that shop on Amazon don't have their adult filters enabled. So a lot of these products won't even come up on the Amazon, like when they search for say a certain product. Usually it'd come up in sponsored products, but because they don't have that adult the adult filter enabled, it won't come up. So could be a good one to go into, but you just have to be careful with things like that. And then I'd probably even look in maybe toys and games as well would be another one, and maybe watches. It's hard to say, but you can get ungated in most of these. So next one is this is one that I got caught out on: products with low demand. So let's just say you're looking in Jungle Scout and you're basically going through looking at the numbers of a certain product, and it basically comes up with a listing and it says 7 or 8 out of 10 for your opportunity score on the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. And it's like, cool, 7 out of 10. And then it has on there, low demand, low competition, or medium demand, low competition. And I've gone for this and I've said, yeah, cool, 7 or 8 out of 10, awesome, let's go for it. What I realized when I got my product in was basically I got into Amazon, and with a product that has low demand or even medium to low demand, the sales aren't going to be there. And just because it has a good opportunity score, you have to really look at the numbers and you have to think, hey, is this product actually going to sell? Am I actually going to get decent numbers? Because I'm just say if you're starting to sell on Amazon, you have to think of it as, hey, I'm trying to make a livable income out of this. Am I going to get 300 to 500 units sold each month of this product? If it's low sales, most likely not. So sort of thing to look out for here. If you're looking at a product and it's got high demand, even with high demand and high competition, I would go for that over a product that has low demand and low competition. Because even though it's got no competition there, people don't want it. A product that's high demand with high competition or even medium competition, it's still the way to go. Especially medium competition. If you can find a product that's high demand and low competition, I'd say that'd be a golden product as long as it's not restricted or any of the things above. But that's one thing to look out for. So that's basically it for my products to stay away from. If you have any questions about what other products that you're thinking you should stay away from, or if you have any questions about different categories, or if you're not sure on a certain product, send them my way. Leave a comment, or if you don't want people to see what your product is, just message me through Facebook or Instagram and let me know what it is and what you're sort of questioning about, and if you think it's the right thing to do. With me, when it comes to my products, I just go for it. I look at things like this first, so it's not just going to get disbanded and just taken away straight away. But I just basically, if I'm not sure about the numbers, or if the numbers check out and I'm still not sure after that, I just go for it, and then I just learn from my mistakes from there. But definitely have a look through this video again, and just make sure that it's not any of these things, because you're going to have a lot of easier time selling, and you're going to have a better opportunity at selling a lot more and being a lot more successful in your Amazon selling. So that's pretty much it. That's all I want to talk about for you guys today, just to give you guys a bit of a heads up if you haven't found your first product yet and you're still looking for what products to sell. Stay away from these ones, in my personal opinion, at least in the beginning, so at least you can get a good head start and sell a product that's actually going to sell well and not get taken off. Your Amazon listing is not going to get taken off Amazon altogether. So it's pretty much it for this video today, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video.